And today on the Consumer Tech segment, we're going to be doing a review of some new Samsung gadgets. And Philip Kofi Ashong, who is the host of City Trends, has joined us here on the set, and we're going to delve into the interesting conversation. Charlie, Philip, how?
I'm doing pretty good.
You good?
I'm doing pretty good.
Fantastic.
It's been a pretty interesting last couple of days after the Samsung Unpacked event sometime last week, I think Thursday. There's been a lot of obvious buzz because there's been a slew of new devices and accessories. It's so basically the unveiling of the S21 series of phones and then the some accessories that typically will come along. So the event started off by the unveiling of the Galaxy Buds Pro.
Okay.
So let's take a quick look at the Galaxy Buds Pro and what exactly it's all about.
Okay.
Guys, they got it made. They can look up, down, left, right. They see it all or nothing. Ears, on the other hand, poor ears. They hear everything. The good, the bad, the hey, you! But it's a new day for listeners. Hey, ears, say hello to Galaxy Buds Pro. This isn't just an earbud, it's complete ear control. Putting these in is like putting a sound studio in your ear. No, seriously. We fit an 11mm woofer and a 6.5mm tweeter in each. It feels like you're sitting here, even when you're here. Yep, with 2 levels of active noise canceling that eliminate up to 99% of background noise. But here's the thing about this active noise canceling. You can turn it down with your voice.
Can I get a number 1 with extra onions and chili sauce?
Good choice.
This sensor can detect when you speak, and its AI algorithm automatically turns your music down and the world up.
Thank you.
No hands required.
Excuse me, which way is Broadway?
We're on Broadway.
Oh, all right, thanks.
It's called Intelligent ANC, which means your earbuds are smarter than ever before. And with 4 levels of ambient mode, they're more adjustable. This is ambient mode at level 1. And this is ambient mode at level 4.
Hey, what's up?
She sounds great.
Good.
And you sound amazing.
Just riding around the city. It is crazy windy today.
Must be the 3 mics with windshield technology that adapt to those windy days.
Okay, gotta run. Goodbye.
Oh, one more thing before you go. Introducing 360 audio with Dolby head tracking. Just pair with Galaxy S21 and be immersed in the action, no matter which way you go or turn. Lucky ears, because with Galaxy Buds Pro, what they hear is up to you. Oh, don't be jealous, eyes.
Phil. Yeah, that is beyond.
I mean, so imagine a 1 hour, 30-minute event starting off with something like that. So most people for now are used to the Galaxy Live or the Buds Live. So this is the Pro, and as you could see there, lots of pretty interesting things. So there are 2 levels of noise cancellation. There's an outer mic and then there's an inner mic to help break, the amount of noise it can do. Now, this is very different from the active noise control.
Okay.
So there's noise cancellation, which is 99% of cancelling out the noise that is around you.
The
so
background
you're
sound
at Circle, you are at Medina, there's a lot of noise. Makola, there's a lot of noise. You can actually cut out 99% of the sound that is outside while you're listening to music. That's on one side. So that is the noise cancellation. Now there's noise control, which is obviously controlled by artificial intelligence. And what is interesting about the noise control is that when you speak. It's able to regulate and pick up. Okay, so you're speaking, so it lowers the music. So there's a difference between the noise cancellation and then the noise control, the active noise control. So for me, those 2, the intelligent noise control, those 2 are pretty interesting for me. The other thing also is, obviously, if you're going to get wireless earbuds or earpieces, the quality of the call is also very important. So they have 3 microphones that they use to basically ensure that there are 2 outside and there's 1 inside. Now this also helps to, for example, on a windy day, be able to regulate it. So one of the outer ear microphones or one of the something that you've put on the outside of the device allows the wind through and there's a chamber that sort of collects the noise and then balances it out of your call. So then when you're making the call, you have, you know, an easy communication. So as you can see, that these are what you're going to get with the Galaxy Buds Pro. It's, like I said, two-way speaker, the sound obviously by AKG. Then of course there are two microphones inside that helps you. There's noise-free call, obviously with a 3-microphone system. Like I said, 3 microphones over there. You have 360 audio that you're going to benefit from, and you have about 5 hours and between 5 hours and 18 hours in terms of use, if you use it for like a continuous period of time, you know, and all of that. Ambient sound was for me very, very interesting, because depending on where you are and who is speaking to you, it's able to manage the sound for you. There's active noise cancellation, as I said, and also if you have more than 2 Galaxy devices, it's able to switch automatically between the devices. So let's say you are watching a video on your tablet and then you get a phone call. With just a tap, you can be able to switch automatically to the phone, pick the call from there, and then when you're done with the phone call, it switches back to the to the tablet where you're watching a video or whatever. So that, for one, is the Galaxy Buds Pro, as incredible and as interesting as it is. So then from the Galaxy Buds Pro, they ended the whole thing with an introduction to SmartThings Find. Now, last year, SmartThings Find was introduced as a way of helping you to locate, you know, your buds live, or you know, things around the house. It's just supposed to be a part of an ecosystem of controlling things in your home. So from your fridges to your whatever. So they've extended the service to not just your device, but then also to your Buds Pro. So if your Buds Pro or your Buds Live gets missing, you can use the app on the phone to be able to locate it. Now from there, they segue into my personal favorite new accessory from Samsung. It's called the Samsung Galaxy SmartTag. Let's take a look at the SmartTag.
Tag, 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 tag it. Tag, 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 tag it. Tag, tag it. Find it. Find it. Tag it. Tag it. Find it. Tag, tag, tag. Somebody smart. Tag it. Tag it. Find it. Find it. Control it. Tag it. Control it. Simply smart. Tag, tag, tag. Tag it. Control it. Tag, control it. Simply smart. Tag, 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 tag.
So so I mean, and you were talking about how sometimes your keys are missing and you just
you want to call the keys, flash the keys, and you know where the keys
somewhere. That's what SmartTags is. Now, there's a SmartTag and a SmartTag Pro. Now, SmartTag Pro adds a bit of augmented reality to the whole experience. So let's say you've left your phone or your keys probably in the bathroom. When you have SmartTags Plus, you can have an augmented reality sort of surface on your phone, which shows you turn by turn directions as to where your device is. Now with SmartTag, it will just give you the sound, so you'll be able to sort of locate it. Now the really, really cool thing about SmartTag is the ability to crowdsource the search for something. So let's say that you've left your keys at a Cramo. You have come all the way home in Adabraka. You can't find it. So you send sort of an SOS message, you know, to the device. Now, what happens is that if there are any people within that community where your tag is or where your keys are, it sends sort of a message to those Galaxy devices because they are within the Galaxy ecosystem. And then because you are the one who requested for the information, it will indicate to you that, okay, so this person at Accra Mall has received a ping from your keys. And so you can basically make your way there and go find it.
Let's go to heaven already, man.
The thing also is that it's end-to-end encrypted. So nobody within, apart from yourself and then the device that you're trying to find, will be able to sort of intercept the signal. But basically, you are crowdsourcing the ability to find things. So anybody with a Galaxy device that is within that ecosystem will be able to help you find it. And for me, I thought it was the most brilliant accessory. Now, the one device or the devices that everybody was waiting for was obviously the S21 series of mobile devices.
Yeah.
So there were 3 of them that were outdoor. There was the S21, there was the S21 Plus, and then of course there's the S21 Ultra. So let's take a quick look. For me, I think we're just going to start off with the specs of the S21 because it's quite a lot to unpack. So I mean, some of the things that they've done are pretty incredible. And one of the standout features for me is obviously the improvement to the camera. So there's a lot that they've done with the camera, and we'll be getting into all of it in a bit. So with the S21 Plus, you basically have these cameras. You have a 12 megapixel camera there, 2 12 megapixel cameras.
Yeah.
You have night mode obviously improved. You have a 64 megapixel camera as well.
Yeah.
So you have a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. You have a 12 megapixel wide camera. You have a 64 megapixel telephoto lens, which is the main lens. So you have 64 megapixels there, and then you have a 10 megapixel front facing camera basically to work with.
So wait, hold on. How many cameras does this thing have?
So typically it's supposed to have 3 cameras. Typically. But then the Ultra has a few more.
Hey.
But we come to the Ultra. We'll come to the Ultra in a bit. One of the things that people also realize is Samsung Knox Vault built onto the device, so it is not necessarily being stored in some place. A lot of your information will be stored on the device securely with Samsung Knox. Of course, there's 5G, as they've been talking about. Now, one of the major improvements has been on the battery side. So you have an improvement, for example, of the battery on the S21 Plus being hiked up to 4,800 milliamperes.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly, from 4,500, I believe, from last year. And then of course the S21 will come at 4,000 milliamperes. Obviously, wireless power share is there, where you can charge your wireless earbuds, or you can charge your watch from the phone. You don't necessarily need to connect it to something else. There's a new portrait mode as well, which is pretty interesting, and one of the things that really excited me. And one of the things that people also need to note is the introduction of 8K video resolution. So we've talked about this in the past, about some TVs having 4K and things like that. Well, your phone now has 8K resolution in terms of recording. I mean, if you're someone who enjoys using your phone as a recording device, you will understand the capabilities that are there for you. For those of you who like to go to weddings, of course, and take pictures and videos, just imagine the kind of quality that you will be playing around with. It has an 8 gig RAM as well that you can easily play with. But one of the things that really impressed me was an improvement to the camera. Now you can be able to use all the lenses for something that they've introduced called the director's view. So you are typically filming something, but you are filming probably in a telephoto lens. You want to see what the camera looks like in the ultra wide, or you want to see what it looks like probably a little up close. With the director's view, you have the opportunity to see what is happening in all the cameras all at the same time on your screen. We'll be getting a preview of that a little later when we look at the Ultra. But basically you are switching between, it's almost like having a professional switcher. You are switching between the various cameras and then picking out the one that you use. So if, for example, I'm filming an interview, or I'm filming some B-roll, or I'm filming, Jifa, eating lunch, I basically at one setting, or in one setting, I'm able to just switch between a close-up and this is what it looks like. So you have the telephoto lens, the wide lens, and then the Ultra as well. And then you have the vlogger mode, which gives you puts you into the frame of things. So you have all of these on the device, and you're basically just switching in between. So like you can see, you just tap and you get your telephoto lens activated. It's just literally a tap away.
Ultra wide,
It is literally a tap away. And for me, I just found it's really incredible, especially for people who want to start YouTube channels, people who want to start vlogging and things like that. All of this is available to you, and yes, it is pretty awesome. So like I said,
did I see 108 megapixels?
Yes. That's what you. But
No,
we will come to that
why?
in a bit. So 108 megapixel is actually the amount of pixels you're going to get to play around with in the S21 Ultra. But we'll come to the S21 Ultra in just a bit. So there have been improvements that have been made, for example, in the night mode. So you get really crisp pictures in the night mode. There's 8K, like we said.
Yeah.
The battery, of course, in the S21 has been increased to 4,800 milliamperes. And also, for some people who had the benefit of experiencing 100 times zoom. So one of the main complaints from last year was that once you zoom into 100 times zoom, it becomes a little shaky. You can't really control it.
Yeah.
Well, they've added image stabilization to that. So if you zoom in 100 times, you can actually focus on whatever you're zooming in. So the camera doesn't necessarily
the shake.
You might shake, but then there's image stabilization attached to all of that. So it's actually really stable even when you zoom in that much. So look, it's a lot, especially, and this is just the S21 Plus. We haven't even entered the realms of the Ultra. But now, let's have a look at the Ultra. Let's have a look at the Ultra and what the Ultra presents.
Makes adventures after dark brighter than ever. And shooting 60 frames per second across 4 lenses in 4K makes every move look unbelievably smooth. The first S Pen for S series puts precision editing at your fingertips. So you can now craft edits on the go and share in an instant on 5G. Our smoothest display ever is also the most intelligent on a smartphone. 120 Hz refresh rate optimizes to what you're watching, while Eye Comfort Shield intelligently adjusts blue light for you. With the fastest chip in Galaxy, unsurpassed speed powers an epic camera experience, complete with dedicated Samsung Knox Vault for the highest level of hardware security. An intelligent 5,000 milliamp battery will outlast your day, even on 5G. S21 Ultra's iconic contour cut camera design revolutionizes all a smartphone camera can do. Designed to be epic in every way. Galaxy S21 Ultra.
It's the top of the line. This is for people who want the very best of the best from a device. And if the video is anything to go by, just check out the spec sheet here. I mean, it's literally everything that, you know, we've talked about from the other one. But obviously the one that strikes out to Kweku David is the 108 megapixel wide camera. It's right there. It's 108.
Why?
Exactly. And there are 2 telephoto cameras, the zooms. There's a 3x zoom and there's a 10x zoom. Both of them working obviously to give you really crisp pictures. And guess what? The front-facing camera is 40 megapixels. The front-facing camera alone is 40 megapixels.
This has never happened.
It's pretty
for a
intense.
front-facing camera.
Yeah, it's pretty intense when you think about it. You now have obviously there's a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera as well. There's adaptive refresh rate. You know, just makes things smoother. And we talked about this last year. We'll be getting into all of that later on in the year as well. And the camera battery, and I mean the phone battery now is 5,000 milliamperes. Obviously not the first time we're seeing it, but it's great that with all of this,
all this heavy duty stuff,
you get a battery that goes along with it. Now, one of the things that also has been introduced is the S Pen. You know, the S Pen typically exists within the Note fraternity of devices. Good. This is the first device within the S range of phones from Samsung that has the capability of using the S Pen. Now, it doesn't have a slot like you would find in a Note, but once you buy the case, there's a special case provided by Samsung where you can basically put the S Pen in it, and it has all the capabilities that you can do. Unfortunately, because it is not fully integrated, just like the Notes, there are a few capabilities that you might not be able to access. But then literally everything from editing pictures to signing to drawing to whatever, you can do it with the S Pen that now comes with the Ultra. So in a nutshell, these were the devices that were outdoored at the Galaxy Unpacked event last week. We had the Buds Pro, we have the SmartTag, which is more of an accessory.
Yeah.
The two of them are accessories.
Yeah.
And then we have the S21 series of phones, the S21, the S21 Plus, and then of course the S21 Ultra, as you saw on the screens. They're really, really epic devices. I mean, the cameras alone, the capabilities of what you can do with the cameras, you saw the 108 megapixel and everything. So in a nutshell, we talked about this last year, but reiterating this, these are all devices that are still within the ecosystem, or the Galaxy ecosystem. You know, so you have the SmartTags coming in as a new baby of sorts. We saw quite a number of new things from last year. All of these are part of that ecosystem they're going to work within, whereby you can easily do anything you want to do, either from your phone, from your watch, you know, or from literally any device, from a tablet, for example. It's just a lot to take in. But quick promise, next week we're going to get to see the full range of the devices and then get a feel of them, you know, at the end of the conversation. So look out for that one.
I don't even know what to say because you see, here I am an avowed across the street from Samsung guy. I stay on the other side. But I'm listening to all of this and I'm seeing all these fantastic images and everything else, and I'm wondering to myself, should I cross carpet? I don't know.
I don't know. It depends on you. You know, but it's interesting also. I mean, you know, as typically, you know, most of these companies who do this pre-ordering, so you can pre-order now. You get a number of gifts, including the SmartTag, you know, and some other gifts that Samsung is currently giving. But for me, as we always say, what do you do?
What's your lifestyle?
What is your lifestyle? How does the mobile device fit into your lifestyle? For me, I think that, you know, if you don't necessarily have the money to pay for a brand new S21, you can easily get some of the accessories as well. SmartTags is, for me, one of the best things. If you don't have a pair of wireless earpieces, you can easily go for that one. But then, for those of you who are wondering what the prices are, the S21 is going for $5,199. The S21 Plus is going for $6,499, and then the S21 Ultra is going for $7,999. And obviously, you would know that the Ultra, for example, comes in a number of capacities. So there's 512, there's 256, you know, and all of that. So you would need to bear that in mind as well. But these are the prices. The Buds Pro, for example, is going for $1,100, and then the SmartTags is going for 120 CDs.
Thank you.